I'm Caroline. For my group research project in Panama, we chose to study bats. We were looking at bat abundance and bat richness across different sites. Bat diversity in the tropics is amazing. It's higher than any other diversity of species that we know of right now. So it was a really cool thing to get to see firsthand or study firsthand. We chose to do bats partly because of their high diversity, but also because partly because we had an amazing talk from one of the local bat researchers from Gamboa. His name was Jerry, and it was a really cool talk. He told us about his research, some of the things he does here, and that got us interested. And we also had an echo meter available to us. It was a Wild Lakes acoustic echo meter. It was a really cool little device that I could plug into my iPhone, and we would hit record and it would pick up bat echolocation calls, and it would actually identify the bats to species, which was amazing. So what we were doing, we were going out and we would be about 75 meters away from the tree line and do a 5-minute trial, record all of the bats that were heard, and then we would go about 75 meters up into these terrifying stairs into the woods and record for another 5 minutes and then go home. We were doing this we were attempting to do it between 6:45, 7:15 every night. There were a few nights that we weren't able to get out until around 8:30, 9:30, and we actually ended up having to cut those out of our final analyses. But after all was said and done, we ran t-tests on the means. We found abundances of species. We actually found species that were site-specific. So of the 16 species we found total, 6 were found in both sites. 6 were found only in the unforested site, and 4 were found in the forested site. So that was interesting that there was actually a change in species composition. We also found a significantly higher abundance of bats in the unforested area, but surprisingly a significantly higher richness in the forested area. So what we found when all was said and done was the evenness of species was much higher, much closer to 1, higher in the forested area, meaning that the ratio of species to species was about 1, and in the unforested area it was much lower. So what we found was that the Sinaloan mastiff, a bat species that was the most abundant species in both sites, was significantly higher in the unforested area, which was skewing the evenness of the bats. So all in all, it was a really cool research project. We did find significance, which is always exciting when you find significance in your research, and there was a difference in species composition between sites. So although it was a small sample size, it was very interesting, very worth it, and I would love to do more research on it someday if I'm ever back in Panama. All right?